2018 Volvo V60 2010-2018 Review. The good points of Volvo V60 2010-2018. Far and appealing than saloon. Flexible loading arrangements. Lots of engines. Excellent safety equipment. The bad points of Volvo V60 2010-2018. 1. From the smallest boots from the sector. Vague steering and average dynamics. Build quality lacks ultimate ruggedness. Most rivals do it better. There's a different Volvo V60 being released in September 2018. Fogged headlights you need to know. The Volvo V60 was already released in 2010, and arguably set the Swedish company on a brand new design direction we saw bear fruit using the introduction with the later XC60, XC90 and V and S90 range. This small five-door estate is at an interesting market position, because it is not commodious, just like a traditional family wagon. It's not a legitimate standard hatchback, either. Even more of a vaguely premium halfway house involving the two. With that in your mind, we will see it on a single shopping list because the Volkswagen Golf estate, or equally on smaller, premium badged rivals, such because Audi A3 Sportsback, or Mercedes-Benz A-Class. The Swedish tackle German premium. So, the Volvo V60 is stylish, well-sized and highly appealing for everyone that doesn't wish to go down the mainstream German road. Due to its age, you will notice the quirks inside, perhaps you like them, you may want, such since the multi-button dashboard and dated infotainment. Still, you simply can't say doesn't necessarily look good. And Volvo is wonderful at selecting the most appropriate trim materials and colors, lending this car a sophisticated look. The instruments certainly are a little for the baffling side, looking cluttered and cheaply styled, a waste, considering the rest looks so premium. The Volvo S60 saloon forms the basis in the V60, however the sports wagon is an appealing car. But its appeal isn't merely cosmetic, you have the added advantage of a tailgate in the rear. Even though it opens right into a boot that's more hatchback than estate-sized. The engine choices. Like its German rivals, you simply can't argue in the V60's sheer array of power units. The petrol choice is usually a tad limited, rolling around in its scope, starting with all the 2.0-liter turbocharged petrol, boasting 150 horsepower T3. You can also obtain that same engine in T4 180 horsepower, T5 240 horsepower and T6 310 horsepower forms. There's also the Polestar, which will arrive at later. Diesel buyers find the choice of your 2.0-liter, offered in 115 horsepower D2, 150 horsepower D3, 180 horsepower D4 and 210 horsepower D5, these all are reasonably refined. It goes without saying how the D5 is among the most appealing because of its prodigious performance. You also can buy your V60 in twin-engine hybrid form, hire two options here. These cars are based for the charismatic old 2.4-liter 5-cylinder diesel, which finally ends up making them a lot more enjoyable to operate a vehicle than they have got right to become. These are harmful for buyout right, but monthly deals are wide-ranging. You get a selection of 163 and 220 horsepower versions. Not forgetting the Polestar. The V60 Polestar is now in their second iteration. The first one would have been a charismatic 6-cylinder offering, which has been as flawed since it was fun. This was replaced in 2016 by the downsized 2.0-liter version, don't think briefly that it's downsized in performance. The twin-engine Polestar packs a turbocharger and supercharger, with hybrid being aid to pack a remarkable 370 horsepower. It's a low-key looking core that will appeal to people who want BMW M3 style performance without attracting the interest. The 2016 version sported new 8-speed automatic transmission, 20-inch alloys, a recalibrated four-wheel drive system, and revised steering. But sheer brute acceleration—'s what this car is about. 062 miles per hour is dispatched in 4.4 seconds. Handling is similarly upgraded, due to Allen's dampers, and a few careful fine-tuning with the four-wheel drive system. In practice it's actually a point-and-shoot style of car, and intensely different for the front-wheel drive cars it's according to. The verdict. The Volvo V60 becomes on in years, along with most measurable ways, is woefully from the pace. And yet, we're not able to help but as if it, on account of its cool, Swedish interior and quirky number of unashamedly punchy engines. Would we recommend one? Difficult an advanced keen driver as it would be dynamically over pace. And yet, you should purchase some hilariously rapid versions, which continues Volvo's great heritage to create rapid estate cars. Undoubtedly a much better buy used as an alternative to new. Review from the Volvo V60 estate. You're spoiled for choice together with the V60, and nevertheless, there aren't many variations in engine capacity. There are lots of powertrain options to pick from. 3 diesel engines, 2 petrol units, and 2 hybrids are offered for the V60 lineup, along together with the option of auto and manual transmissions on every one of the diesels. The hybrids can also be auto-only, much like the 2 most powerful petrol models. Diesel and hybrid versions. The headline model from the V60 lineup would be the D6 twin-engine all-wheel drive model. This utilizes a 5-cylinder 2.4-liter diesel engine allied to an electric motor. The result is 288 horsepower, 062 miles per hour acceleration in 6.1 seconds and claimed official CO2 emissions of just 48 gkm. It also can drive solely on electrical energy for up to 31 miles. The V60 is usually offered with D2, D3, D4 and D5 badged diesel engines. The D2 is usually a 1.6-liter unit producing 120 horsepower and 62.8 miles per gallon average economy. The D3 and D4 engines share the identical 2.0-liter turbodiesel engine, however in 150 horsepower and 190 horsepower states of tune respectively. However, fuel economy 62.8 miles per gallon and CO2 emissions 119 gkm are indifferent. Volvo V60 petrol engines. The petrol lineup starts with all the T2, a 1.6-liter unit producing 122 horsepower. This accelerates from 062 miles per hour in 12.7 seconds and it has a top speed of 115 miles per hour. The T3 ups that capability to 152 horsepower, and also the 062 miles per hour time drops to 9.6 seconds and 124 miles per hour. The T4 180 and 190 and T5 240 models are based for the 2.0-liter turbo unit delivering an amazing 180, 190 and 240 horsepower, joined with a 6-speed manual gearbox or automatic. This is enough for 062 miles per hour acceleration choice of between 9.2 and 7.3 seconds. Even though claimed combined fuel economy which can be between 27 and 38 miles per gallon for the best powerful model makes MTSS as a niche choice. Topping the petrol range ahead of the Polestar will be the T6, a four-wheel drive Volvo V60 performance model offering 310 horsepower, 27 miles per gallon combined fuel economy plus a maximum speed of 155 miles per hour, Volvo V60 Polestar engine and satisfaction. This is really a Volvo estate with launch control, meaning the engineers obviously have taken the matter of Volvo V60 Polestar performance seriously. A press with the brake and throttle simultaneously sports this engine revs around 3000 revolutions per minute and optimizes grip from the line for max attack. Do it right, it only will last for 5 seconds, so don't be too tardy in releasing the left pedal, which lifestyle low lugger can sprint from 0.62 miles per hour in 5 seconds. Admittedly, there's almost no drama from the line, thanks mostly on the excellent four-wheel drive system, but at the least the engine provides some oral fascination for the move. If you like your engines old school, then a series of induction, turbo spool and flutter under full throttle will please any inner child. The 2.5-inch diameter active exhaust system, with dual 3.5-inch tailpipes only adds on the assault within the ears. The bassy idle never screams so loud about frightened children nor small animals passing by. Polestar's engineers have raised power around the T6 petrol engine from 299 bhp to 345 bhp by adding a fresh twin-scroll turbo and larger intercooler, which helps obtain the headline 500 Nm of torque, offered by 3000 revolutions per minute. Certainly it feels as quick as the many on-paper figures indicate, though never from the realms from its German rivals or AMG-badged cars. Think Audi S4 BMW 335i though and you'll be within the money. One thing the Polestar V60 misses out on can be a manual, or perhaps fast-shifting dual-clutch automatic, gearbox, instead making do while using firm's familiar 6-speed automatic, which was in truth somewhat old hat now. The race team has received its mitts though, rewriting some in the software for faster and much more decisive shifts, containing worked however, not performed miracles. Superseded Volvo V60 models. Dropped through the range in 2015 was the appealing 5-cylinder 2.4-liter D5 unit which offered 215 horsepower, 61.4 miles per gallon average fuel economy and CO2 emissions of 120 gkm. Older versions with the V60 were also offered in 1.6 drive guise. That's essentially precisely the same engine as today's D2 model. Confusingly, pre-2013 V60s also featured a D3 model, but this produced 165 horsepower. The V60 certainly feels nimble, particularly if you're accustomed to more traditional Volvo estate cars on the past. However, even though you may adjust the settings to weight the steering and provides it more feel, it is always too light and lacks feel. Thanks on the low slung shape from the V60 there is certainly very little body roll in corners. Take it to the motorways, this also car feels right in your house, it can be assured making for cruising at 70 miles per hour. If that description paints a picture of the car that lacks excitement, then that's entirely fair. But it also fair to say which the V60 does not have to be the last word in handling precision. In front-wheel drive form, it's neat and predictable, whilst in four-wheel drive guise, you can contribute additional grip and security into the mix. Volvo V60 Polestar handling. The Volvo V60 Polestar handles impressively, on account of its expensive racing-derived Öhlins adjustable dampers, and springs that happen to be 80% firmer as opposed to runners found within the T6 the Polestar is according to. Add to that 15% stiffer anti-roll bars, new connecting mounts and bushes, along with a seriously focused setup. On a billiard table smooth race circuit, or maybe a glass-flat Swedish road, all this works well. Responses are sharp, and considering this car is near to 10 curb weight, it includes almost exemplary body control. However, using a typically frostbitten and pockmarked British broad, they just don't. To be completely fair, the damping is well judged, quickly settling within a movement after being upset. Even so, the springs are way too stiff. Harsh ride, great high-speed body control. At low speed the ride is harsh, and in some cases minor surface changes like white lines, particularly those with cat's eyes, may be clearly felt from your driver's and passengers' dash seats. Unfortunately, merely one spring rates are offered across all markets, and even though the dampers offer a group of 20 adjustments with cars being delivered inside, safe middle ground backing their responses off won't have the right difference here. We're not convinced the V60 Polestar will probably take part in many track days either, as rapidly super grippy 20-inch Michelin Pilot Supersport tires, excellent four-wheel drive system and 6-piston front brakes, its sheer mass will soon find the better of computer. The V60 carries a quality feel, plus the floating central console stands apart as a quirky design touch, though it was first seen about the S40 in 2004. The Swedes win the most notable awards with regards to design and functionality. At first glance the V60 looks rather underwhelming, but look closely and take your time in it, and also the V60 cabin is one on the clearest and quite a few comfortable places. There's a slimline center console fascia, and also the front is trimmed in matte carbon fiber, and things are all within easy reach. The central display for the sat-nav, stereo and telephone is apparent and finely detailed, even though the controller isn't as intuitive, mainly because it should be, plus the electronic instruments in front on the driver are equally impressive. Polestar upgrades and improvements. In the Polestar, you can find nubuck suede seats with deeper bolsters and attractive blue stitching. As you'd expect, the seats are really comfortable, although you soon forget they certainly are a sports seat simply because aren't as firm as some rival chairs. The nubuck makes an appearance within the armrests and tire too, even though the gear lever gaiter is stitched in blue to check the seats. Polestar badges appear around the top on the gear lever and briefly flash up within the main information screen on launch, whilst the pedals certainly are a metal finish. It's a godsend the Swedish firm can lay state they offering several of, in any other case, the best seats in world, otherwise Volvo V60 comfort might are not able to impress. The chairs can be fantastic, finished within a mixture of leather and nubuck suede, with bright blue stitching and extended bolsters for better support. They're significantly less hardcore, or as uncomfortable, as some from the sports seats found rolling around in its rivals, but the many better because of it. Even those occupying the trunk bench will feel comfortable inside the V60, the seats trimmed inside the same fashion as those within the front with lots of support, legroom and headroom. However, you'll find it difficult to get three burly adults sat next to each other. One with the biggest gripes we have now is how the manual gear selector. It is mounted poorly for drivers that like to sit close for the steering wheel or individuals that like to use bottles inside holders within the central console. There is an upside. If you enjoy to visit in comfort instead of hurtling by way of a set of challenging bends, then this V60 will be the perfect option. More comfort than performance-orientated. Volvo may talk in the V60 to sporting and dynamic, playing with reality it's actually a comfortable cruiser. Up front, the Swedish firm's knack of creating armchairs which can be both soft and supportive continues. However, period of time slung coupe-like roof restricts headroom and anyone over 6 foot tall will feel cramped. Polestar differences. By far the most important detriment to comfort could be the Russia-orientated Öhlins dampers and suspension, with springs 80% stiffer than these found around the regular V60 T6. The dampers actually perform their job well, managing larger lumps and bumps particularly impressively and manipulating the body in a single swift movement. However, the springs are way too stiff for typical British roads but for track, and you may feel each and every small imperfection in the huge 20-inch wheels and low-profile tires. Even the louder exhaust doesn't intrude into proceedings, plus the V60 Polestar remains quiet and refined even at motorway speeds, and when you wish to drown the extra tire or more, the excellent head unit will happily and easily make it happen for you. Regardless of speed or stereo volume, there's little whine noise to become detected. The Swedish race engineers have reworked the gearbox software to supply harder and faster shifts, but it's still noticeably slower versus the fastest dual-clutch automatics within some rivals. At least meaning when left to its own devices, using a gentle throttle especially, it can do a decent job of slurring ratios and keeping forward momentum smooth and unhurried. The Volvo V60 will come in 5 trim levels: Business Edition, Say Lux, Redesign and Redesign Lux. All come well preloaded with city safety technology, a method that brakes the auto if it thinks a front-end impact is imminent, LED daytime running lights, alloy wheels, traction control and rear parking sensors as standard. Standard Volvo V60 equipment. The Business Edition models are targeted at company car drivers and are available with extras to create their lives easier. It's far from being basic, or feeling to be an entry-level model, since it incorporates the subsequent equipment as standard. City safety technology. LED day running lights. 16-inch alloy wheels. Rear parking assist. Electronic climate control. Cruise control. Premium speakers including DAB, Bluetooth and leader remote controls. Navigation system. The same mid-range model is really a decent start in terms of standard equipment, so you have the following additions within the Business Edition. Frameless auto-dimming rear view mirror. Grocery bag holder. Aluminum trim. Textile upholstery. Auto-folding mirrors with puddle lights. 17-inch alloy wheels. Chrome window surrounds. Say Lux will be the top of the range V60 and incorporates leather-faced upholstery. Power driver's seat. 8.0-inch active TFT infotainment screen. Active bendings and on lights using a headlamp cleaning system. The sporting redesigned trim level adds 18-inch alloy wheels, uprated chassis, front sport seats, aluminum interior trim and special leather tire. Redesign Lux includes active bendings and on-headlights with headlamp cleaning, power folding door mirrors with ground lights, rain-sensing wipers and rear parking sensors. Volvo V60 Polestar equipment. There are not any trim levels to select from, no engine or gearbox choices, and within the UK, even if it's just a body style to pick, other markets also have the S60 Polestar Saloon. The truth is your only options are color. Every option box and pack continues to be selected to the V60 Polestar, hence the near £50,000 price. The Volvo V60 Polestar is based around the top-spec V60 Redesign Lux nav, and comes together with the following equipment as standard added to that car. Dual-zone climate control. Electrically controlled leather and nubuck seats. DAB radio and Satan Avant. Illuminate gear knob with Polestar logo. Blind spot information system with cross-traffic alert. Lane keeping aid with driver alert control. Adaptive cruise control. Keyless drive. Security pack. Sunroof. Premium hi-fi. Volvo On Call. Externally the auto is marked out on the T6 redesigned nav that it really is based on account of the bespoke 20-inch alloy wheels. 18, 19 and 20-inch rims can be found with winter rubber as a possible option, subtle body kit, diffuser and rear spoiler plus badging about the grille and tail. Optional Volvo V60 accessories. There are wide-ranging ways to personalize your V60. Key options around the Volvo V60 such as a 700-pound security pack which consists of keyless entry, laminated side windows and water-repellent front side windows. The winter accessory pack costs £355 and brings snow socks, rubber interior, floor mats, reversible cargo mat and mud flaps. The £525 winter pack adds heated front seats, headlight washers, a heated front windscreen and heated washer nozzles. Volvo also now offers a Polestar Performance Pack which upgrades the D5 engine to 233 horsepower plus the T6 unit to 330 horsepower. Included inside £2,495 package are 18-inch alloy wheels, black wing mirror covers and Polestar decals. However, in case you just want any additional power, this is usually bought separately for £815. Older Volvo V60 trim and specifications. Pre-2013 registered cars were badged S, SAE and SAE+. Standard features included city safety, climate control, cruise control, floor mats, 5-inch color screen, steering wheel mounted audio controls, leather tire and gear knob and 16-inch alloys. The flagship SAE+ added electric front seats with memory, leather upholstery, adaptive cornering headlights with an auto headlamp cleaning work as standard. Safety kit within the V60 is comprehensive, impressive given it was published in 2010. The V60 features pedestrian detection that brakes the auto automatically if an individual walks outside in front the auto's direction of travel. There's also city safety, Volvo's autonomous emergency braking EB system. It automatically brakes in the event the driver isn't able to react if your vehicle before slows down or stops or if your driver is driving too fast towards a stationary object. The system can reduce or perhaps avoid low-speed rear-end impacts at speeds all the way to 18 miles per hour. Other standard safety measures include rollover protection system, curtain airbags and side impact protection system. Lane departure warning, blind spot information and actives and non-lights may also be available for the V60. All the kit results in a 5-star Euro NCAP score. The plug-in hybrid variant on the V60 scores 5 stars for safety too, despite weighing 350 kilograms greater than its conventional I-engined counterpart. The V60 comes with lots of flexibility, even when it's around the small side. It carries a load capacity of 430 liters with rear seats in place which expands to at least 1,241 in the event the seats are folded. Unfortunately the boot is shallow, turning it into smaller as opposed to majority of rivals. Have a glance with the Octavia Estate and you will notice that it really is miles ahead from the space race because it has a capacity of 580 liters seats in position and 1,620 liters of load room using the seats folded. However, the sports wagon has greater flexibility since the passenger seats fold flat to allow for loading and unloading of awkward items. The folding passenger seat provides standard the first in this sector.